well as your advice, management advice to our viewers on navigating this crisis. So, Shrirang,
Thanks, James. Thanks, Anjit.
before we start, for our audience, why don't you tell a little more about how you started your leadership journey, how you started your career, and how you reached to where you are today?
So, sure, Anjit. So, first of all, thanks, Anjit. Thanks, James, for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here on this platform. And I look forward to speaking to you for the next half an hour. Coming to the question directly, my leadership journey started in 2007 when I set up the first venture of mine, which was a corporate finance advisory business of ours, a boutique investment bank. At that time, a lot of mid-market investment banks were not present in India, and hence we decided to help mid-sized companies on entire gamut of corporate finance activities. We then in 2013, I set up the second venture, which was Origa Lease Finance. It's India's first lease tech, where we do end-to-end equipment leasing in both MSME and healthcare space. And we are one of the pioneers of asset lifecycle management solutions in this country, whereby smaller enterprises and smaller hospitals, polyclinics, etc., can come and avail right from selection of an equipment to leasing to all the post-leasing services on a single platform. And we believe we are planning and we believe that our offering is going to disrupt the way people look at equipment, buy equipment, lease equipment, etc. in this country. So that's in a nutshell. I think the leadership journey of mine was quite a roller coaster journey. We started in May 2007, and then September 2008 happened. Now we started in 2014, and now COVID has happened. So I think as we move along in this discussion, I will elaborate, but it's been a great journey. A lot of learnings on the way. And one comment I would like to leave is how much ever formal education that we take from any of the institute, I think this on the ground learning cannot be replaced in leadership and leadership training.
That's well said, Shrirang. The harder it gets, I guess, the stronger you become, right? And then there's nothing replace really the reality and how you sort of grind through the day-to-day and to build your leadership character. So with that said, I wonder if you can kind of dive into a little bit more of how do you define leadership and what characteristics, in your opinion, is a strong leader?
Yeah. So I look at leadership a lot from the human aspect of it. I look at it more from people side of it, and I believe leadership for me is driven by three key qualities. One is passion for the venture or the assignment that you are in. Second is at most humility. So you have to be extremely humble. Otherwise, you are blinded by a lot of your perceptions and your understandings, which may not be true. What typically the management called the hubris, right? And so, and third is people management. So passion, humility, and people management is something which I believe drives leadership. And if you see that these are three qualities, when blended in a right manner, creates true leaders. And the size of the organization really does not matter at that point in time. Let me elaborate one by one in a two-line manner. The passion and the is important because any leadership role should not be treated like any other job. It has to be treated as if it's your own baby. It has to be treated as if you are an intrapreneur or an entrepreneur within a large or a small organization. So whether you're a founder or not, as soon as you're a leader, it is very important that you have the passion of the business that you are in. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult beyond a point just to run the business mechanically. Secondly, humility helps you, accept things, and it makes you very receptive. A lot of people get carried away by saying, I'm at the top, so it doesn't matter whether I need to listen to people or not. It doesn't matter whether I need to listen to advice or not. And then slowly and steadily, you do not realize, but you start developing a lot of blind spots around you, and something may come at you so hard that you need to be really, really lucky, to be saved from that. So humility helps you avoid those blind spots and be receptive, be acceptable, to people, to criticism, to your critics, for example, to your advisors, to your board, and how much to act on it, whether you need to act on it, should you act on it, is your judgment, but at least you're receptive, which is important, right? And people management, where in today's times, your team, whether it's a product business, service business, technology business, people are something that drives your business, drives your product, etc. And you need that coherence in keeping your people together, helping them grow, create that sense of security as well as sense of empowerment. And you need to be a very, very strong people's person. So I think these are the three things the way I would define leadership.
Mhm.
Well, that's very well put across, Shrirang. I know these three leadership qualities that you have mentioned. I think it's very important that you need to have passion, then you need to be very humble. You should have humility, and overall you need to take care of your people. Like people management is absolutely important. Spot on. So just one question before we move to the other part of our discussion. Like there are so many young graduates who are coming out of college. What advice would you give in this time of uncertainty? What they should be doing uh, to keep them motivated? And then also there's a lot of challenges that they're facing. So what they should be doing as a leader? What would you suggest?
A lot of things, but few things, because of the time constraint, I would like to highlight is they need to focus on a lot of self improvement and discipline. So one of the things that fresh graduates today need to build in themselves is a lot of work ethics and work discipline. So they need to be, they cannot say that let me reach the top and then I'll start working on my work ethics and work discipline. It doesn't happen from the top. So you need to start it very, very young to reach the top, right? So they need to work on these factors. Secondly, they need to explore interesting opportunities. There are a lot of entrepreneur opportunities, leadership opportunities in many, many ventures. I think there is some way in the world people there is people start thinking today, or have started thinking today, that technology is the only space that people can become entrepreneurs or leaders. In no other space you can become a leader. And I think the young students, management graduates, or even the people who are getting into careers today need to look much beyond technology. Obviously technology cannot go away from your life. Technology will be there in every part of your career, in your whatever you do. Everything would be tech enabled or technology driven, but you need to explore other areas of work culture, working professions, and technology will be an enabler there, right? So it's not that you will be only be a successful entrepreneur only after you develop an app or you develop a game. You can be a successful entrepreneur even in an agricultural business. You can be a successful entrepreneur even in food delivery business, as you would have seen in a lot of e-commerce, food bus. So I think they need to widen their horizon, go beyond what they just read on the net and papers, and see where do the opportunities lie on the ground. Because for them to become true leaders, they need to first identify the opportunities and the challenges which are there on the ground. And only when they start solving that bit by bit, piece by piece, they will evolve themselves into a leader. So it's not a magic wand, it's a process. And what they need to understand is that it's a process.
That's very well said. That really appreciate your advice to the young graduates. I know a lot of them are facing a lot of uncertainty, so I think this is a very humbling sort of advice for them to get down to the basics. I wanted to change gear a little bit, Shrirang. I wondered that if you can share with us, how is your organization, managing the current uncertainties as well? We know that there's a lot of challenges currently, and it would be great if you can kind of share with us, how you manage this crisis.
Okay. So there are three levels at which we are managing this crisis. One level is we have we have increased the communication among all the team members extensively. You'll be surprised that we are having more discipline on the calls in the lockdown period than when we used to meet in office. So though we were all in front of us, our team calendars used to go haywire. Team meeting calendars used to go haywire, right? But we are more disciplined now. One thing that we have done is we have increased communication among all of us. We've kept all of us engaged with all the developments that are happening. So everybody, because there could be a tendency that people are at home alone and then suddenly they get lost and feel, oh my God, what's happening? I don't know where my company is going, what my organization is doing. Some random email comes to me, I need to work on a task, and then boom, it's gone, right? So that's one thing we are doing. Second thing, on the business front, we had always planned to diversify into other revenue streams and other business segments. We've just speeded it up, and we've realized that any business should have multiple related revenue streams on the value chain, if possible. And I think a lot of people would be realizing that there has to be some diversity even in the business segments that you operate or the revenue stream that you're operating, but not leaving your core, not leaving your core competency or the core segment or the core customer base, not leaving that, but trying to see how more you can expand on that value chain by leveraging the core competency that you have, right? So we are also opening up multiple revenue streams, business segments in and around equipment, and trying to see what more can we offer to the clients. I'll give you one simple example. We have launched a service called a Recoup service. It's a financial advisory service over on the net, and we're offering it at some dirt cheap price. Idea is that a lot of people are struggling to get out of this lockdown, right? And we would come in and say, hey, talk to us three times in a month or 3 times in 2 weeks, and we'll help you get out of your lockdown blues or lockdown issues, right? And that we are trying to create different engagement models like that with existing customers, new customer, potential customers, so that they see that Origa is just not giving equipment. Origa is helping me move out of my problem, right? And so they're not trying to hard sell their equipment to us or they're leasing to us. They're just trying to help me get out of my problem. So we are widening our scope of work in terms of our engagement models with the customers and developing new business streams. And thirdly, we are having a very strong board level and investor level engagement model. So I think that is one thing that everybody needs to be very much aware of, that even it's okay even if you over communicate, but it's better to keep all your board and your investors in the loop for a lot of strategic level decisions or a lot of key decisions, because finally they are stakeholders, and in these troubled times that channel of communication also has to be extremely engaging and intense. So and that's a big part of the senior management work. So these three things is that we are doing in this troubled times.
Very good.
That's very good to know that you're already doing some of the activities which are important in this scenario to keep your employees engaged, keep the communication among stakeholders, and see to it that how you can have a regular and deeper communication and relationship with your customer. That's very well put across. So I just wanted to also quickly check, as we are our larger audience is SME. So I know the SME has been greatly impacted with this crisis, the crisis which is going on. So how do you see the effect of this pandemic on SMEs, SME sector, as well as some of the large corporates, large enterprises, and what, in your view, should these SMEs be doing exactly what they should be following to see to it that they actually survive this crisis, as well as see to it that continue building their business?
We definitely see it on the ground that it's a segment which is very badly hit, and they will need a lot of heavy lifting to come out of this problem. There is no cookie cutter answer to what they should be doing, but there are a couple of things which we believe, and we are helping our existing customers also look into it in terms of prioritizing where to start, uh, prioritizing which areas that they need to deploy their cash flows, which are the top customers that they think would immediately start business with them, which are the business segments which they think would immediately will have a shortest turnaround time on a, or a cash conversion cycle, where they can immediately rotate their capital, and more importantly engage deeply with their lenders, and see whether they are able to avail any kind of a COVID relief loans that government has announced. For example, I think your platform could be a great platform to connect MSMEs with the COVID relief loans that are available today. And if you are able to offer that in today's time, as a Capital Connect, even in the good times, they'll come to you and they'll not go to their regular advisors because you have helped them in the times when they needed you the most, right? So if there is a bridge available today to them, which will take them to these COVID relief loans, and solve the problem on the ground of how to apply, what kind of forms to fill, what kind of projection, what kind of paperwork is to be done for these banks, etc., for to avail these relief loans. If somebody is there to handhold them and take them to that journey, it's going to be phenomenal help to them. Coming back to the question, yes, I think prioritizing on these fronts will be important, but uh, I just hope and pray that the segments don't die, the companies don't, because there is a big threat that almost a lot of segments, couple of segments can get wiped out, couple of players within a segment can get wiped out, and I just hope and pray that that doesn't happen. And they need a lot of help from various segments, whether it is their advisors or government or tax department or their lenders or anybody, debtor. And what bigger companies can do is, if possible, is that if they release some part of their debtor payments to the smaller companies in the value chain, that will kickstart the working capital cycle. Because my biggest worry is who will kickstart the working capital cycle. Somebody has to kickstart the working capital cycle. So until unless somebody receives a payment, there is no way. It's assuming we three are the only players in the industry, and if we three decide not to pay each other, how is anybody's working capital cycle going to start?
Yeah.
Right. So I think that is where they have to focus as to how to kickstart the working capital cycle.
Shrirang, I think you touched on the point that is certainty, right? So a lot of us are very concerned about the uncertainty, and as a finance professionals, we tend to look at risk and tend to want a level of certainty. I wonder if you see a long-term impact from the financial services industry in regard to supporting small and medium businesses. Do you see any change because of this?
No, I don't. I think the lenders will get more choosy, which they should not. Unfortunately, what happens is the risk awareness grips everyone, and then people become extremely averse to lending. What I believe people like Origa and other industry players who are in credit business should do is they should not paint everybody with the same brush. The mistake that happens in financial services globally again and again is an ecosystem is painted with the same brush, right? So if there's one rotten apple, then all apples are considered to be rotten, uh, right? And it keeps repeating. The history keeps repeating again and again in that manner. But this is a chance for everybody to work on this Achilles heel of the segment, and say that, look, I'm going to still cherry pick. I will still support good businesses. I will still support people who have shown resilience, and have decided to move forward. And that kind of a thought process is required.
Oh, I think that's very good. We might have lost Ranjit for a moment, but never mind. I think that's a very good insight. And yes, Shrirang, I think we are coming to our half-hour time, but I have one last question that I wanted to ask you. And we are in the fintech business, and technology is changing our lives, and it is evident in this pandemic and how we respond to it. And I wonder if you can touch on how technology is changing the financial services, and maybe how your company is using technology, to broaden your reach to your customers.
Yeah. Technology going forward as a fintech would do three things. They would bring down the customer servicing costs. They will increase the reach, and they would help in better underwriting. So if a technology is able to do these three things, then the goals of technology are served, right? And then on top of this, you can have as much as bells and whistles you want in terms of data analytics, anything, and etc., etc. But these three things are the foundations of using a technology in a fintech, in a financing business. We are exactly focusing on these three aspects, and we are present in the entire west and south of India, but we don't have a physical office apart from Mumbai, and the entire sales team is on mobile, right? So we are India's first DG leasing company. So right from creation of the lead to sanction of equipment lease, we are completely online, and that's number one. Number two, because we have a lot of touch points, and a lot of touch points are direct integrated into our technology platform, our cost of customer acquisition and cost of customer service is one of the lowest in the industry. So we've done that kind of an integration. So I believe that technology should be used for and now we are working on customer servicing. So I believe that technology should be used in having a better customer experience, not only pre-delivery of a product, whether it's a loan or a lease or anything else. It should also be there at the post-delivery of a product, right? So on the engagement model, on an upscaling model, how do you upscale for a particular customer, etc. So there, if you are able to provide technology prowess, then there would be a extremely a wow effect for a customer, saying that to make me a customer, obviously I was pampered, but I'm also pampered after being a customer.
Very good. Very good. So, with that said, I think we are coming to the end of our podcast today. And we know that your time is very precious, and we want to make sure that we use the time well. We wanted to thank you again, Shrirang, for taking the time and the effort to share with our audience and our broader SME community of your leadership journey, as well as your advice on how to manage through this crisis. And once again, thank you.
Thank you. And one last point from my side is I think leadership going forward is going to be of empowerment, right? So because of so many challenges coming in, I believe if my final word would be that if you're recruiting a team and if you're building a team at any level, you need to think of empowerment and not become a helicopter leader. Like there's a concept of helicopter parents nowadays, right? Hovering around your head. You can't become a helicopter leader. You need to be a leader that empowers people, because a time is going to be of essence. Challenges are going to be immense. So until unless you empower people, your organization is not going to move ahead. So that's a final word from me.
Very good.
Okay.
Ranjit?
Thanks, Shrirang, for sharing your tips. And I know this is a very valuable lesson for audience who are listening to us. And in fact, thank you so much for coming and sharing your leadership journey. We look forward to speaking with you again. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and you take care.
Thank you. Thank you to both of you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.